Alright, so, well, let's try this, so, okay, here, I don't know, I just remember Mishra's Factory worked in a Legacy deck that I used to play a long time ago, in a Legacy Merfolk. I actually started off on a budget, and I played this instead of Wasteland, because the thing is, I did actually try playing 16 Islands, but, like, I noticed that the deck would get mana flooded a lot, so I just thought, this might help. And it actually works surprisingly well. It actually works so well that I actually still kind of went back and forth between Wasteland and Mishra's Factory, even after I purchased 4 Wastelands, which I still have today, but I have no use for anymore because I haven't touched Legacy in a million years. I guess if anybody wants to buy Wasteland, I don't know, but whatever, I don't know. Let's get back to the point at hand. I don't know, I just want to try this again, just give it a shot. I want to try the 8 Seas concept, but yeah, I want to try the 8 Seas concept, but, and I thought if I'm trying the 8 Seas concept, maybe this actually gets better, because maybe I can actually turn it into an island, if it really does become kind of a problem. So, anyway, other than that, basically, in order to make room, I had to take out Merfolk Trickster, and, this might have actually always been the best card to make room for the 8 Seas package, so, there is that. And in a world full of Urza Saga, I think it's never been better to be on the 8 Seas plan. Other than that, I don't know what else to say, other than that, yeah, deck seems to... we'll see. We'll see how much this color screws us and how much the extra body or the pump really matters. Anyway, let's get to the games and let's see. Alright, match 1. Opponent likes my decks, that's always nice. Yeah, so let's see if Factory Folk actually has some chops, and, what can I say? I mean, no deck's perfect, but at least we got Oboro to kind of fix our mana, and we got Spreading Seas if we need it, but we can definitely afford, I think, to use Spreading Seas on their lands. So, alrighty. I'd take Spreading Seas if I were them. Yeah, just explaining a little bit of my logic, I guess. Yeah, basically I was a budget Merfolk player for a while, and, like, I couldn't afford Wasteland, so, and, like, I did try just playing 16 Islands, but actually the deck did struggle with Flood. By the way, this is actually, it's funny, I don't know if there was actually a lot of overlap between the modern Merfolk, Merfolk community and the Legacy Merfolk community. I have to imagine, because the deck was almost identical. That's really the reason why this was basically my first Modern deck, and this is one of the reasons I got into Modern, is that essentially I had a Modern deck, because all I had to do is basically take out, I don't even remember what I guess Mishra's Factory. Eventually I got Force of Will. That was like my first, like, more expensive purchase, unless you count Aether Vial as an expensive purchase. I got the Aether Vials, though, right around the time when Modern Masters 1 came out. I think it was Masters 1 where it was reprinted. But anyway, I remember it got kind of cheaper for a while when it was reprinted, and I snagged them then. So thankfully, that didn't blow my budget or anything. Force of Will was definitely... I'm going to hold on to my Force of Wills, I guess. Like, if I ever want to play Legacy again, that's a cool card to have. But, now I feel a little bad that I actually ended up spending like $200 for 5. And actually, I don't know what Force of Will's going for today. Actually, I think if I go away from another screen, though, I think it's going to go away. I don't know if the opponent might not believe me, but it's true, actually. The Legacy Merfolk used to play 12 Wastelands and I mean 4 Wastelands and 4 Mutavaults, 12 Islands, and trust me, and like I said, I played this replacing Wasteland with Mishra's Factory, and the mana worked. I don't know what else to say other than that. Just like the mana worked. Now I know Wasteland though has a kind of like caveat to it that Mishra's Factory didn't, because I actually proxied it a bit to get a feeling for it, and definitely Wasteland was better, no doubt about it, because one of the things Wasteland did is sometimes you like mana screwed your opponent, and also like when you dazed them, you fell behind a little bit, and you know. Well, looks like we're a matchup where we don't necessarily need to flood the board with Merfolk immediately. At least there's that. We'll see. I don't know. I just like, I just didn't like fully realize that this card. I mean, I knew that this card was reprinted, but I didn't like necessarily think to actually just try it again. But you know what? Let's just try it again. And I have a feeling that this card is going to be better than we think. And trust me, like I know it looks like this is hurting me here with not playing out a Lord on turn 2. We could play a Lord on turn 3 if we really want, but I don't think it's gonna. I mean, they're playing a deck that is just gonna insta kill the Lord anyway, so don't worry. Yeah, Luris to hand. It's fine by me. So the question is, do we want to play? Okay, we can play it without even. Yeah, I guess we will. And I think we actually may have conserved our mana a little better. Because if we just played it in the previous turn, I think they would have just killed it. And now maybe they have to use their mana a little less efficiently. Although I guess we used our mana a little less efficiently. Well, whatever. There's something to like, I think. There is something to like. Something to like, yeah. Yeah. This is definitely a card where appeal is pretty decent. So one thing we could try to do is we could try to repeal, and then we could, in response, dismember if they crack, because the point is that, well, I guess the problem is they'll be able to counter the dismember. Well, that'll at least make dismember a live card. That's what I'm worried about, is I don't want them to save their creature without dismember being a live card. So I think I'm going to want to do, I have a feeling that they've got Stubborn Denial. Yeah, I think I want to do it on my turn, because that way, yeah, I know this seems weird, but we're going to do this on my turn. So the idea is they crack, and then we dismember. Oh, okay. I guess that works too. Yep. Actually, I think we have to save the dismember for Luris, so maybe this actually wasn't really as genius of a plan as I thought. Yeah, this wasn't as genius of a plan I thought, because Luris is just going to bring it back, which means I have to save this for Luris. But it's not really as bad as it is either, because arguably I should have done it anyway. Although maybe I should have done it end of turn, or maybe they would have drawn Stubborn Denial. I don't know, man. I'm not the grand mastermind of how to do these things. Kroxa in a Death Shadow deck. Well, I think we're at the point where Dismember is basically completely dead, so. So, ideally we get another Lord so we don't get blown out. Well, I guess we get blown out no matter what. So we know they have Luris in hand, so. I mean, yeah, I want to go for it, but it's just, what am I really going for? 3 damage, and the problem is Kroxa's gonna make Force of Will a moot point anyway. Look, I know I'm probably gonna get blown out here, but I don't think I have a choice. This is the only way I win, really, is just by getting aggressive. Okay, and here we get to see Mishra's Factory do something at least. Actually, it's not half bad. Maybe that even gave us a path to victory we wouldn't have had otherwise. Who's laughing at Mishra's Factory now? And I'm just kidding. I don't think our opponent's laughing at it, but I was laughing at it. So who's laughing at it now? Oh man, if they got 2 more Battle Rage. What am I supposed to do though? Block? That doesn't seem like a good idea. Then I'm playing for like drawing this. But what could they have had in hand if it wasn't Temur's Battle Rage? It wasn't a removal spell. It could have been Stubborn Denial. Well, I think my opponent's going to be cool about it enough to let me know. It's just going to kill me if I block this and I don't draw a Lord, and it turns out they have Stubborn Denial. I can't block. I can't. I will just find out right now if they got it, which I'm sure they do. But we'll just okay. Well, anyway, so at least if they drew a removal spell this way. Oh, okay. All right. Oh, put me to the test there. Yeah, I mean, hey, they're pumped help there. So let's, I mean, because that's the thing, it kind of synergizes the Mutavault, so. Let's see here. Since they're probably playing Scourge of the Skyclaves, I think I'm going to bring in Tricky Dicky. I definitely need Svyelun. I kind of want Counterspell, but also kind of the discard makes it a little... Yeah, considering that we gotta find a way to squeeze cards any way we can, I think we're gonna do it this way, and we could do Relic too, but I don't think Relic is... It looks good against Lurrus, though, no doubt about that. I think Chalice of the Void's a little too good to pass up, which means I think we can take out Tideshaper. Maybe we can bring in at least one counter spell. I don't think actually Spreading Seas is all that hot. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring in 4 counter spells, 1 Force Negation. I mean, this could make our mana awkward because we no longer have the ability to fix our factories, but I think here this is a matchup that it's fine. Maybe actually we want to replace the Force Negation with a Spreading Seas or Tideshaper. It's probably Spreading Seas a little bit better. Oh, you know what it is? It's Dismember. I think, we need Dismember against Lurrus, though. Lurrus is kind of a pain in the butt. Yeah, we'll just do it this way. Hopefully we don't get mana screwed. We'll see. Because actually, we didn't even play Spreading Seas in the main deck in Legacy. Actually, I did play Spreading Seas in the sideboard. That was actually the secret tech to actually make the Death and Taxes matchup actually somewhat reasonable. I won a fair deal of games and even matches against Death and Taxes, and Legacy Merfolk was otherwise was like impossible. The Legacy Death and Taxes deck. That was a sweet deck. It is a sweet deck. I'm guessing it still sees play. I've completely stopped following the Legacy scene, but just I remember my opponents were like, "What is this?" Spreading Seas. This was before even. They're probably before even Modern became a thing. I remember I'm like, "Yeah, Spreading Seas." I'm like, "Hey," because the problem was some decks don't have islands, and I was just like, "Well, if only my creatures were unblockable against Death and Taxes, then their prison elements. Yeah, I'm just gonna. Man, it's gonna be a problem if they discard. But on the flip side, if I draw a land, then I'm back in the game. Like Nikachu basically explained, sometimes these are hidden. These are like secretly the best hands. Because sure, they take the Aether Vial, but then, like in these attrition-based matchups, you're just golden if you draw a land. You know, so we'll see. I mean, it looks like I made a mistake, but and we got 2 turns to draw land, so you'd be surprised. And there you go. I mean, I know it just seems like we were a Luxac there, but Nikachu is right though. Like, and the point. Another thing about the attrition matchup is we're not going to insta-lose if we can't hit our second land drop on our second turn anyway. Although when we start with the discard cards, that's pretty brutal. So anything past, I guess, the third turn is gonna. They can play Death Shadow on their, I guess, second turn. It's the power of Thoughtseize. This deck definitely uses Thoughtseize better than any other deck because it actually wants to reduce its life total. You know, it's funny, people say Death Shadow may even have a favorable matchup against Burn, or like, you know, Death Shadow like at least doesn't have a bad matchup against Burn. I disagree. Here's the thing. Yes, Grixis Death Shadow has a you know, has the, like, it is kind of even-ish. I still think Burn is slightly favored, but I do understand actually from playing Burn a lot why it's trickier than people might think. But it's all freaking because of Stubborn Denial. Trust me, it's all because of Stubborn Denial. That slows Burn down just enough that that oftentimes enables them to win in a way they just wouldn't be able to otherwise. So you already know what's in their hand, so I guess I'll just reveal the Lord of Atlantis they already know about. But yeah, so the thing is, I disagree because Grixis Death Shadow is not the only Death Shadow deck, and in my experience playing Burn, the other variants of Death Shadow are very cold to burn, for the most part. Sometimes the white one with what's it called, Ranger Captain of Eos can kind of juke by like sacrificing on upkeep so you can't cast your sorceries. That kind of slows down, but it doesn't actually like it doesn't actually hard deal with it. And like with the discard, like actually you know, you do start sometimes running low on burn spells, so it's not, trust me, it's nowhere near as good as Stubborn Denial. But you know, that card can be annoying, but still, trust me, even the white based, the ones that have white but not blue in Death Shadow, still I think pretty decently favored for Burn. And the ones, and unless they're playing like really nutso sideboard cards, the ones that don't have blue and white, just I mean not blue, sorry, they all play blue. The ones that, I guess, which is basically just Sultai, but the ones that aren't playing white or I guess, yeah, blue, actually, so it's not Sultai, that would be Jund, I guess Jund Shadow. Jund Shadow by far is like an extremely good matchup for Burn. So do I attack? I mean, I don't want to pump them, but at the same time I do have to win. Well, here, why don't we do this first? And we took our Lord of Atlantis, 5 cards in hand. Because we drew Aether Vial, which they don't know about. Let's reveal the Svyelun before we do anything else. Alright, that's good. I mean, they can Stubborn Denial this, but so be it. Let's play this out, actually, before we attack. Let's see if they want to damage themselves. Okay. Yeah, I don't know, man. This might be a total mistake, but I'm gonna do it. See if they damage themselves. Okay, I guess they wanted to take the damage. So they can make it a 7/7, then 14/14. If they got a fetch land into Temur Battle Rage, then they got lethal. Starting next turn, I could hold up Counterspell, though, which is kind of cool. Played the Silvergill. I think that's good for me. Okay. See, the good thing, though, is we can counter Aluris, and we got Merfolk Trickster for a tap down on this. So I am feeling good about attacking. Alrighty. Yeah, so hold up Trickster and Counterspell. And that's actually a really good draw. I mean, in a way, we're kind of lucky to be drawing so many blue sources when we've got so much brown mana sources in our deck, but This has just also kind of been my experience in Legacy, is like, when you do draw it, a lot of times it's surprising. Mishra's Factory is way better than you might think in Merfolk. So like, it really wasn't like oftentimes that bad. And anyway, yeah, we're definitely gonna have to tricky dicky this. Now they might have Stubborn Now, but we do have Counterspell for Stubborn Now. Then they play Lores, but then we have like an out, maybe in the form of a Lord. And sure, they might draw a card into like a removal spell if I real it, but if they play Lores, then they might be tapped out. Like if it's Kulagon's Command, they can't play it. Cool story. So we'll definitely... They knew we had that. We'll definitely try to counter Lores. Because that might just be GG. No, maybe we don't need to count. Yeah, we definitely should try to counter Lores. If they Stubborn Denial, they Stubborn Denial. Stubborn Denial would have been a hard counter basically any time. Yeah, what are we supposed to do? Not try to counter? I don't know what's in their hand, but unless it's Stubborn Denial. Oh, I guess Drown in the Lock too. Yeah, well, same principle. So now with us a top deck Lord just takes it over. They don't really have any good buybacks, so that's a plus too. I think that's GG. GG's with a double S. Already, well, hey, first game off to a good start. All right, match 2. It's hey, you know, and I'm telling you, these Mishra's Factories might be better than they look, and especially with 12 Cs, we've got you know, we've got the wherewithal to turn these into islands, which is not ideal because, you know, granted, Tide Shaper will stay a 1/1 if they're not a blue deck. Although if they are a blue deck, it's kind of a free roll with a Tide Shaper unless they kill it. Yeah, anyway. But yeah, or Spreading Seas It, which isn't ideal, but like, we do have the wherewithal to fix our mana, I think, better than we ever have before. Even if these are kind of color screwing us. It's also worth noting, this is one reason why I discovered Repeal actually in Legacy Folk and Legacy Merfolk, because I wanted more things to do when I only had 1 blue mana, but I had like a brown source, and I realized that Repeal actually helped deal with like Delver Secrets, which was ubiquitous in Legacy, and I think still is, maybe even more so. But Legacy has like so many 1-drop creatures that like Repeal was a very reliable like cantrip basically. And I just ported it over to Modern, and it still did pretty well. So like a lot of times the cards we play actually may a lot of times be a function of just like what you're used to playing and stuff. And anyway, I'm gonna do this while they're tapped out, because if this gets remanded, that's like really bad. I mean, if it gets Force Negation, it gets Force Negation, but like we just can't deal with that getting counterspelled or remanded. Losing 4 life and them countering this is just, ooh, that hurts. I mean, sure, they could Force Negation it, but at least they 2-for-1 themselves. I don't know. I don't know what to say other than that. Just minimize the chances. Man, this card is good in their deck too, man. I'll tell you that much. Alright, well, since they're a red-based deck, I think this is where Svyelun's really going to shine. Not that Svyelun is, like, ever that bad, but, like, this is why I'm a believer in Svyelun, and why I'm a believer that it's okay to lose out Lores. You know, I mean, of course, I also get to be monocolored, which I could never play this in a mono-black deck. But, like, yeah, this, unless they're secretly playing another color, or unless they're playing, like, Vapor Snag, which Vapor Snag isn't even that bad because it's card disadvantage for them, but Vapor Snag is a little brutal, though, because it is kind of like pseudo-burn, also, to my face. Unless, like, honestly, the only blue card I'm really worried about right now is Vapor Snag. So, but, like, or Flame Slash. I mean, I'm popularizing playing Flame Slash in the main, so I might be my own worst enemy. If they play Flame Slash, I'm Force Negationing, though. But, it's pretty cool stuff, I think, to be able to have this, they have to attack. I wonder why. It always feels like, Oh, you know what's happening? I think the game is forcing them to attack, but they're so used to clicking attack that like it forces them to attack, then they click it and they unattack. Because I notice that happens a lot with this card. Anyway, that's neither here nor there, but yeah, let's definitely do this. And the thing is, actually, because of Svyelun on a Holy Heat, what the frick? There's 4 more cards. Oh, we're definitely countering that. No doubt about that. I probably would have waited for me to play this card. You just never know. We might have ran ourselves out of blue cards for Force Negation. Minor misplay by the opponent, but as it turns out, it wouldn't have made a difference. But I would recommend going forward that they wait for me to file this thing out. I guess they were worried about like Unsettled Mariner or something. I don't know. We can hit for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Fortunately, this doesn't get pumped. Yeah, let's do that. I mean, yeah, like, maybe I might draw a Silvergill Adept or something, but gosh dang it, I'm playing Mishra's Factory. I want to put it to use. Alright, good thing we attacked. Opponent could burn us out, which is never ideal. You know what, we're just going to play this frickin' thing now, and I know that means we lose some bluffing potential, but Ward makes it awkward. With only 2 mana, and they seem to have missed a land drop. Unfortunately, the Mishra's Factory doesn't ward for the Sylvan, for the Svyelun, but the point is I just want to make the Svyelun indestructible, because they're gonna have to have a 3rd mana, and they'd have to like bolt the Master, pay the 1 for the ward, and Flame Slash the Svyelun, or they could have triple bolt. Actually, even triple bolt doesn't kill me, so I think I got it. It's pretty cool. Okay, well, I guess they did keep a mana open, so good on them. But do I have lethal? I've got close to it. I've got lethal. Yeah, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, Mishra's Factory for the win. I mean, it is worth noting that Fairy Conclave would have been the exact same thing there. But, hey, we did already see Mishra's Factory with the pump being able to push lethal. Yeah, and that would have been different because Fairy Conclave wouldn't have been able to attack the next turn. We needed to push 1 extra damage that turn. And, yeah. So I don't know, we'll see if we're too cute for our own good with the Mishra's Factory plan. But, okay, this is definitely a matchup where Chalice can be excelente. So I still can't get over seeing Merfolk Trickster in the sideboard, because this does not feel like a sideboard card. But I explained my reasoning. I do fully believe, I mean, I do feel very, very good about this main deck. I will tell you that for sure. Right now, for some reason, I'm getting really, really good vibes. Even though I'm playing Mishra's Factory, which looks wonky as all heck. You know, I'm feeling really good about this main deck. But yeah. But the problem, I mean, the thing about it is the sideboard. Like, yeah, and that's at the end of the day, I just feel like I've got to have Merfolk Trickster in the 75. Sometimes people cut it entirely. I'm playing in the sideboard. I mean, you know, sue me, come on, like, you know, I like Merfolk Trickster. I want it to be in the mix. There's worse cards I think you could play. Yeah, I think Tide Shaper, since we are bringing in Chalice, we want at least Counterspell. I think we probably want to squeeze Merfolk Trickster in too. I think if we can. Since this is a blue matchup, I mean, it's a little bit scary to go down a Spreading Seas, but I think we can. I think this deck is still surprisingly good, even without. Yeah, and I know this is going to seem weird, but we're going to play Counterspell. We're only going to play 4 Lords. I think the Merfolk Tricksters are too important for the speed bump. Yeah, I know it seems weird, but cutting Lords is actually one of my secret pieces of tech. The Lords are excellent in the main deck, but I've even experimented with playing 4 Lord Merfolk to squeeze more cards. I mean, that could even be a consideration to free up more sideboard space. Is just play like Master of the Pearl Trident. But I think that in the main deck, the Lords just are so good for pushing damage. I think it's kind of hard to get away from that, but that's definitely an option. I mean, like, if for the longest time Merfolk only had 4 Lords anyway. I'm not gonna do it, folks. Don't worry. I think it's a mistake not to play all 8 Lords. They're like the best Merfolk in many ways, especially when you have 8 Cs. How can you play 8 Cs and not 8 Lords? Just break the symmetry, man. So this hand could be a little awkward. This time it's Mutavault threatening to make brown instead of the Mishra's Factory, but that's what it is. Alright, well, at least we can repeal that. Well, hopefully they might. I think they took a mulligan, didn't they? Yeah, 6, so they took at least one mulligan. Now, here I have a problem, because Force of Negation will blow me out hard, but, like, I think I have to. I also don't want to, like, telegraph that I've got this. Yeah, they could play more 1-drops too. I'm not going to telegraph that I have it, but, like, I'm very, very tempted to play this on 0, repeal it, just for being mana efficient, because, like, I do just have a very clunky hand. But I think I can't deal with what will happen if they force a negation because it's just so useless on 0 in this matchup. If they force a negation the repeal, or if they I guess that's what it really is. Yeah, plus now I have 2 basically hard removal spells. I guess it would have been completely no, I guess it actually even would have been maybe okay. Well, we'll see. Yeah, we basically have 2 hard removal spells of sorts, and drawing random cards may or may not be good for them. Alright, let's do it. Hopefully they don't have Spell Pierce. I think because I don't think people play Spell Pierce much anymore. I think they play Mystical Dispute, but can't Mystical Dispute Chalice. It would have been nice if we had 2 blue mana, also, so that we could have had our bases covered, Force Negation if they play something on their turn, Counterspell if we play it on our turn. I'm going to F6 to disguise that fact that I have a Force Negation, because I just want to play it on their turn so bad. And hopefully I can turn off the auto yield in time. Okay. Alrighty. Well, gotta do something about this menace. Alright. I mean, if they didn't counter their appeal, I have to imagine they don't have a counterspell, but that could be okay. If they don't have, like, a braid, okay, good. At least if they abrade, they unlock my Aether Vial. Counterspell may not even be that good, so I'm gonna try to say no to that. Alrighty. Alright, so this could be a help. Now, the brown mana is a little disappointing, but I could have waited on to use the repeal for a little more I don't know how you say it. Yeah, utility, but we could also repeal our Silvergill and then try to replay it, even for some card advantage. We could really try to solidify the Chalice lock here. Let's try to attack in. The problem is repealing this exposes us to possible card disadvantage. I guess I've kind of locked myself in here though, because I didn't use the Mutavaults. Alright, well hopefully they don't have End of Turn to Braid. Okay. Alrighty. Alrighty. Yeah, the brown mana is really choking us here, but we already revealed Trickster, so they know about it. Maybe I should have just been more aggressive with the attacks. Try to like be more bullish also on completing the lock. Problem with that is if they have something like Ratchet Bomb, which I don't know that they play Ratchet Bomb. Okay, well, cool stuff. I mean, we did get to see the dark side of Mishra's factory, but thankfully it didn't actually hurt us. Alright, match 3, and hey, we are up against Sodek, which I think he's like either Hammer Time or Dredge. Well, Force Negation is about the best we can do against Dredge game 1, so so we shall see. We shall see. Temple Garden. Utopia Sprawl. Well, this is definitely not the normal Sodek decks from what I understand, but hey, this is well, and this is pretty normal MHayashi fare here, but alright, let's reveal Lord. He's probably deducing that I'm playing Svyelun, but you never know, some people aren't believers yet. Everybody's a believer in playing Lords in their Merfolk deck, so. If it's Teferi, I think I have to counter. Although I could snipe it off. The problem is if it ticks up, then actually that could be a problem. And I think Sodek is exactly the kind of player who'd realize that upticking when I don't have 2 blue might be the way to go. Because the thing is, if it upticks, I can't actually take it off the battlefield. Alright, you know, whatever. Hey, I got Spreading Seas and I got Tide Shaper that can both of that, you know, that could both. Hopefully I draw one, because I don't think I've ever been better set up against a Utopia Sprawl. Oh! Well, you know, I know this is going to seem weird, but it's okay. I'll wait to counter whatever they fetch. I don't know if they're going to fetch something or just use this as a Shroud effect. I mean, my repeals aren't a permanent answer anyway. Yeah, okay. So, I'll just counter whatever they fetch. Well, I guess we can't counter that. Hopefully, I don't know if we just... So that's a little bit disheartening, but... Well, here's what we can do, actually. Let not our heart be troubled. One thing we could do is actually we could bounce this. Yeah, actually, that's what we want to do. We want to bounce the Harvester. The other thing we could have done is... the other thing we could do is we could bounce the Utopia Sprawl. Bounce the Utopia Sprawl. No, we're definitely bouncing this Harvester thing. Alright, so we'll respond to the first, oh, we'll actually respond to this. I mean, sure, they'll just replay it, but at least, unless they got a 1-drop, okay, you know, and then maybe the Seas shall claimeth. So that wasn't as sweet as a 1. So they're probably going to play this, then maybe they have another Utopia Sprawl. If they have another Utopia Sprawl, if they play it on 1 land, that will be very sweet. Okay, so they didn't draw any cards, that is good. Well, we're really... You know, probably Mishra's Factory in Modern is better without Wasteland to force my hand, as they say. But anyway, let's do this. Seems kind of nice. Boy, though, like, we would have been in so much of a better shape. We would have been in such better shape if we had more blue. We could have even curved this out on turn 1, and it wouldn't have affected us if this was Fairy Conclave. So, anyway, yeah, we're probably just going back to Fairy Conclave, folks. It is what it is. Cryptic Conclave has been our mainstay for a long time. And I mean, man, this did have some cool uses, but man, like when this brown mana screws us, it brown mana screws us. I just want to counter this because I don't want them drawing more cards, and I don't know. I need 2 Svyelun's. Main deck, Veil of Summer. Ouch! Here's one cool thing I can do though. If I can repeal the Spreading Seas, maybe I draw a blue source, and then maybe I can also play the Utopia Sprawl. Play the Utopia Sprawl. That's tempting too. But I am gonna try to go for the more maybe arguably greedy play. Yeah. Into another one. Next turn we may have to Spreading Seas our Mishra's Factory and then use that mana to Spreading Seas the Utopia Sprawl. There's one cool thing you can do with repeal, for what it's worth. I just have to imagine that we would have been much closer to just finishing the game before they can play Solitary Confinement and whatnot, and just have them go nuts. Well, no, actually, because they don't, wait, enchanted creatures, unenchanted lands, that's good. So I think I have to do this. I think I have to frickin' hit my own Mishra's Factory. Which sucks, but, like, gotta do what you gotta do. Hopefully we finally draw another blue source after all this. Oh my goodness. Yeah, well, the concept of 8C still might have a place, but I'm suddenly a lot less hot. I don't know if I could have won that Death Shadow matchup though, to be honest, without these, but maybe it's not. Okay, maybe it's not correct to just immediately write this off. Man, we look so foolish in front of Sodek here, though. Trying to be creative too much for our own good, but you know, it is what it is. Yeah. I think they got back in the game. Honestly, where we would have had a Svyelun that was attacking every turn, drawing cards, all because we thought we were clever. At least we're somewhat constraining their mana because we seized off all the sprawls. And in a way, these greater Urmancies, until they actually find their Solitary Confinement, they're kind of like dead cards. Kinda. The question is next turn to play Svyelun or a Lord. Or maybe Silvergill Adept. Yeah, I guess we play Silvergill Adept and see if we draw into something good. So we could play a Lord and attack, or I could play Svyelun. I'm going to play a Lord and attack, slightly more mana efficient. At the end of the day, we just have to end the game right away, because otherwise things are just spiraling out of control way too quickly. At least our 8Cs helped smooth our mana a bit by Spreading Seizing our own Mishra's Factory. Oh yeah, I forgot they can use that to go get Solitary Confinement, but hear me out, maybe... Oh, you know, we should have played Svyelun for that reason, actually. But I don't know, maybe we're forcing their hand too early. I mean, we missed out on drawing one extra card, because Svyelun can still attack even though the damage is prevented. Thankfully, Solitary Confinement does not prevent us from attacking. The problem, I guess in theory we could also, we need our 4th repeal to get out of this, because we'd have to double repeal the Greater Urbancies at end of turn, then repeal the Solitary Confinement on our turn. And honestly, unless we do draw another repeal, we probably have a better shot at just trying to somehow hope that they run out of. Well, maybe we can scare them that somehow we have Force Negation. Oh man, I think this is like where they go off. Because that's a bit much. Well, at least we saved our Svyelun from On Thin Ice. On Thin Ice is indeed incredibly thin. Does it lose the snow subtype, I wonder? Oh, actually, it's until On Thin Ice. No, never mind. So our Seize effects don't actually make On Thin Ice fall off. Hopefully they're being greedy and they're missing the 3rd land drop. Nope. Okay, now this has got to be getting greedy. If we rip a blue land, I guess that's 8, so I guess maybe they're not greedy, because maybe they aren't. They're just not in danger of dying this turn anyway. So never mind, I guess it was good I didn't play Svyelun. All things considered, it just didn't make a difference. Tide Shaper, you get caught up in the Tide Shaper. Wait a minute, this is Enchant Snowland. Oh, but it's Shroud. Oh, but the land isn't Shroud. Let's see what happens here. I want to, for science, I want to see what happens if I want to see what happens if I target this. I don't think it's gonna fall off. I don't think it loses the snow subtype. Nope. But hey, we had to do it for science. Yeah, I mean, I was pretty sure about that, but you know, what is the harm, considering we're pretty much losing this game anyway. So now it's just a basic snow island instead of a basic snow forest. It's funny how it loses the Urza types, but it doesn't lose snow. I think it's because snow is like a super type or something. It counts, it's weird, it has a different name, but it counts as like a core part of the core. Oh, yeah, there's a chance I could have won for sure if I wasn't getting color screwed by by my own Mistress Factories. There will be some matchups though where this coming into play untapped is like, you know, a lot better. Hey, at least this isn't Algarthian Enchantress, or what's card called, like in Legacy. 2 mana for a 0/1 Shroud. Whenever an enchantment comes into play, you draw a card. What's this? Well, I mean, let's Svyelun. Like, what's the target land you control? Actually, number of enchantments. Man, that's a good one. Well, yeah. What's the harm in attacking, really? So what I'm gonna do, that might scare the bejesus out of them, is that was a mistake. I needed to double repeal it on a turn. Well, I guess I'll repeal this in a turn, and then... I don't know. No, I needed a double repeal. It was kind of now or never. But I also need to set up enough creatures that... Yeah, you know what? I need to do this. Alright, so I can repeal one of the Uromancies in a turn. And we're going to have to draw an untapped land. Repeal, repeal. Hope they don't have another on thin ice. They can draw like a million. They can make like a million mana, but not necessarily this turn. They have a lot of enchantments, so, but I don't think they quite have lethal yet. I don't even know if I have lethal if I draw. Let's see. Yeah, because let's see. I would 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Well, if they play no other enchantments, maybe. What are the odds of playing no other enchantments? Because like the problem is, even if I do draw the mythical 4th repeal, still. Nope. Okay. I guess it was good that I just played out the Aether Vial. No. Yeah, they put the turn a land into a something something. A something something. Yeah, let's just take whatever. I don't care. Seven. 13. I can do 13, but that's just not going to cut it. So no point in wasting. Which land? It's just until end of turn. Okay, good. I thought it was permanent. That would have been way better. All right. Maybe now we go for the double repeal in a turn, because now we can double. Because then we could play repeal double lord. Well, first let's attack, because why not? We need a trump blocker too. We could try to turn them off from red. I think I gotta go for double repeal though. And yeah, but this is a problem though, because I need to block. Maybe I should have just held Svyelun back for blocking, if I'm gonna be honest. I guess I just block with Tideshaper. You know what? I think I have to play a Lord here, because the demands of. Oh, you know what? I just block with Mishra's Factory. That's what I do. Yeah, and I guess well, I need to hold up for a repeal, so boom. Oh yeah, I can't. Oh, I messed that up. I don't know. We'll see. Going for the extremely unlikely something something. Oh, they can make lots of lands, so never mind. Never mind. There were like we were trying to feel better about ourselves, but at the end of the day, it didn't matter. Destiny Spinner. Don't get caught up in the Destiny Spinner. Destiny Spinner. Oops, let's do this just so we can feel cool about tapping our Mishra's Factory. So we can say we did. Yeah. 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 I guess this is marginally better because then we can save it with Mishra's Factory. Take 12. Oh yeah, I guess I have to block that too. Yep, now we can say we use Muta-Factory's ability. So, that's cool, I guess. Do these have trample? Oh, they have trample, never mind. Oh, whatever. So that was fun. That was fun to do stuff. Alright, counter spell. Yep. Yep. And we do want... Man, Tideshaper's so good, though, against those lands. Chalice can be good, but honestly, the Tideshapers are probably better, to be honest. It honestly feels like the main deck is surprisingly well set up. We can split the Lords and the Masters just in case they play like a Detention Sphere or something in there. And I think this is it. Like, what are we supposed to cut? I mean, the Spreading Seas seem awesome. The Silvergills, the Force Negations, Svyelun's, Repeals, Dismembers. Dismember's great against that creature, so we need all the interaction we can. Yeah, I mean, Chalice is good, but honestly, cutting off Tideshaper to me feels just wrong. So, plus we need all the help we can get against. Yeah. Wait a minute, so I'm forgetting the other matches we had, and one was Grixis Death Shadow. I believe that was 2-0, but let's go back to the details for a second. Okay, both were 2-0s. Grixis DS, and what was the other one? Somebody said, couldn't surprise at what I was playing. Oh yeah, and the other was UR Delver. Could play Izzet. I could say Izzet Delver. Hand seems decent. Seems decent, especially in this matchup. Since I don't even have any Lords in my hand, I'm just going to lead on Mutavault. Righty. Alrighty, on my shoulder, alrighty. So I think I'll just play the Silvergill. It's good to just start drawing cards. I mean, this tips them off that that Utopia Sprawl may not be the best. I might just play this out, though, to be honest. Because like, even if they play Utopia Sprawl, just Spreading Seas, and this is more aggressive. On the other hand, maybe I want a card to pitch to Force Negation. So maybe not. Yeah, I take it back. I need a card to hold the Force Negation. I mean, I may want to actually pitch Spreading Seas, because I think... Okay. Yeah, let's just dismember this right now. Let's Tideshape the white source, because why not? This might even lull them into a full sense of security into thinking that they can play Utopia Sprawl now. This also pumps itself, which that could really come in handy with no Lord here. You know. Actually, another thing about it, I should have cut Merfolk Trickster. What was it? Oh no, I don't even have Merfolk Trickster in the main. Yeah, I guess I had to cut the Lords. Everything else is just too important, I think. Oh yeah, for sure. Let's get this out of here. Get out of there. We don't like ya. I mean, we like Sodak. We don't like Enchantress's presence. That is good. Yay. We are the villain. Playing Counterspell. We are the villain. Yeah, here Tideshaper is much better because we need the clock more than the random card. If they play Solitary Confinement, I think, yeah, I'm kind of that. Okay, they didn't have Veil of Summer. I was a little worried about Veil of Summer, not gonna lie, but either didn't have it or don't have it in their board. How can they not have it in their board? I guess we don't have. Whoa! I just realized, why are we not playing Veil of Summer in the Infect deck? Maybe because because Spellskite just synergizes with Luris better. Yeah, and truth be told, yeah, maybe it just doesn't make sense, because honestly, the pump spells are like, yeah, it's weird, but it's just like, yeah, I don't know, it still could be good. Yeah, I just realized we're not playing one of the most powerful green cards in our green deck. It's hard for me to imagine giving up Spellskite after we can see what it can do. Anyway, let's focus on the magic at hand instead of other magic that we could be having. Repeal may actually be kind of iffy because, but we need an out to solitary confinement once it's down. Although they have so many Shroud cards and whatnot, and like this hand, for example, this would have been keepable if these were Lords, but I just can't imagine taking out Repeal. I suppose I could take out Dismember, but I don't like that either. Anyway, we got them all. This is basically the same hand, just... Well, at least this card has a little more interaction, so... Maybe they took out all their 1-mana Auroras, because they're just not as reliable. They're just not. Okay. Let's see, Snowcover Forest, Sterling Grove. It is fine. It is what it is. I guess we'll Minamo and attack, because we need some kind of clock. Actually, I'm not sure if I had a Manland in the other hand. I mean, hey, a Manland clock is better than no clock. I'm going to definitely say no to Enchantress Presence, if that's what it is. They reprinted Enchantress Presence, they played that card. I mean, are those like the only card draw? I mean, Legacy Enchantress only needs Algothian Enchantress and whatever it's called. Okay, well, we got Dismember for that. Alrighty. Oh, I guess we don't, because it has Shroud. Well, we will once we repeal Sterling Grove. I guess we have to repeal it then. Repeal it before they can sack it, I guess. Yeah, let's do it. I mean, I can't really imagine. Oh. Yeah, that's a little disappointing. Alright. Well, now if we draw another repeal, well, I don't know, but because they can crack it in response, so still not ideal. And they drew a card off of it, so that was not ideal. Oh, there we go. That would have been good one turn ago. I mean, do I hold up Force Negation? I think I have to, and it seems weird, but... because they're going to draw cards whenever they play these things, but like, I think we're going to need both. Alright, well that is a creature, so we can't counter that. This could have been a matchup where Ratchet Bomb was excellent. You know what? Maybe Dismember, if they know what they're doing, and of course Sodak knows what they're doing. Ooh. Alright, well anyway, this is probably not going to turn out so well, but we are going to try to play to win nonetheless. In retrospect, probably we can take out the Dismembers, actually, because if the opponent knows what they're doing, then they're not going to expose. They're going to play these growth things before they play the creatures. And Okay, that's fine. That's fine too. We're saving these things for the cards that actually kill us. And we include Enchantress's presence among those. Well, Destiny Spinner might end up being that too. Yeah, we definitely have to counter that. Now they got Veil Summer. Well, what am I supposed to do? Like, I guess it can't be countered, but like, I mean, whatever. I mean, like, my hand literally does nothing. It's like, you should have just not cast any spells. I'm like, yeah, at least I'll try to cast some spells. I mean, I think if I could have, like, force negated the Sterling Grove by, like, drawing another blue card off of that repeal, I think I could have maybe won this, because I just could have dealt with this, and then... Now maybe we can repeal this. Yeah, maybe actually we wanted Chalice instead of counter spells, because actually Destiny Spinner definitely is kind of a problem for counter spells. Maybe counter spells as opposed to Force Negation. You could leave Dismember in and take counter spell out. Yeah, jeez. Alright, match 4. Frustrating last game against Enchantress with Sodek seemingly mocking us for playing something that it didn't make any lick of a difference whether we played it or didn't play it, or attacked or didn't attack. So I guess kind of mocking us more than anything for just playing on, but you know, whatever. I mean, just decent. You know, I don't know if he was really intending to mock, but I don't know what else could really mean. I mean, I guess it's like, oh, didn't see that. I'm like, I guess, you know, so I'm not gonna lie. I guess technically I didn't see that, but what difference does it make? I have in the past, and I easily could just do that, just to do something, because I was just kind of along for the ride at that point. We did get a 5-0 in one of my recorded leagues when we were kind of along for the ride. Just the opponent timed out. So you just never know. I mean, seems like they got a Force Negation. Shardless Agent. Alrighty. Silvergill from Lord. Yeah, decent. Alright, let's just... I think since they're playing a blue deck, I can probably just play Tideshaper. But let's play Silvergill first. And I guess we'll play this in case they have Censor or something. Build a card they already know about. Censor is not a bad card, since you can always cycle it. I think people should probably be giving Censor more of a chance, and I suppose I could too, but I don't know, in this deck, it's just hard to leave mana up, and if you are, you kind of rather, like, actually... Counterspell is mostly kind of a later game type card anyway. I think they're playing the Crashing Rhinos deck. We can crash for a lot of damage if they shock in, Shardless Agent, we draw land. We could crash in for 12 damage, put them down to 3. Not worried about Force Negation, I guess. Well, I guess we could have Force Negation at the beginning of our upkeep, so... Repeal is excellent against the tokens, so this might be one matchup where we're not really that afraid, ironically, of this menace. The problem is they can keep doing it again and again. This card is not that bad if they're trying to play it more fair with, like, As Foretold or something, but if they do this again and again and again, so that could be a little bit of a problem. I kind of want to repeal and draw a card, although that could really screw us with But the Lord is probably just better. Crash for 9, go down to 6, or 12 even. No, I can't do 12. Svyelun is probably just better. It's basically a free block too. Svyelun it is. Yeah, you know, the Mistress Factories were an interesting idea, but now I remember why I just never... Like, now I remember why I love Fairy Conclave so much, because since there's no Wasteland, it's actually just... I'm probably just going to go back to Fairy Conclave. It's just more kind of traditional and... Oh, subtlety. I guess, man, the Time Walk is a... I'm going to put it on bottom, strangely enough. Because this hopefully means they don't have that much removal. Yeah, I think this deck kind of abuses this in the sense that they can play lots of card disadvantage type cards. And I guess in a way they need to, because they don't really have much of a curve starting at 1 at least. But they can definitely get the Rhino game going. Hopefully the other one card in their hand wasn't like another Outburst, but I guess we'll see. It may be. Yeah, it was another Outburst. Well, maybe they're finally out of Outburst. We'll see. The Repeal should help a little bit, but we're probably going to need... Oh yeah, I forgot it pumps too. It's pretty good. I guess we'll double block one. Because, let's see, next turn do we win? No, we don't. We survive, but then they threaten lethal next turn if we take 10. can repeal one. Threaten lethal. Yeah, we need a block. They're out of cards, so you never know. You never know. Alrighty. I think we need to repeal to try to make something better happen here. We probably have to do it in our turn. Of course, Echoing Truth would be even better. Okay, good. I don't want to block with Mutavault. Does that mean we Tide Shape? I kind of want to just play Tide Shaper on one. The mana efficient thing to do. Let's play Tide Shaper on one, and here's the reasoning. I think we're gonna want to triple block. They can't kill the Silvergill 2, and that'll just be a small hedge against some top deck removal spell. Of course, worst case scenario, they draw the six remaining Cascade spells. I might have Bloodbraid Elf too. This may not actually, cascade into a 3-mana Cascade spell, but we shall see. I think this deck started off as just sort of like Legacy Waterfalls, which didn't actually, at least back in the day, didn't have this. Anyway. Well, as much as it pains me to do this, we have to play around the possibility they drew a removal spell, so we will expose this to danger, and we will triple block. So I could easily see them having Fire and Ice. Thankfully, that just doesn't give them another kill. Watch, they got Fire. At least Fire doesn't change this, that this is going bye-bye. It sucks that we have to stabilize, because ideally we want to race them. The 6 cards left in their deck, they're far from guaranteed to see them, so we shall see. Is there like some other, I wonder, land that can somehow give us another Merfolk effect other than Mutavault? I don't think so. Certainly no other one that taps for blue. You know, I just realized I haven't been trying Riptide Laboratory. So Tide Shaper is a wizard, Silvergill is a wizard. I guess those are only wizards, and I guess Merfolk Trickster is a wizard too. Well, Riptide Laboratory, we can at least play it as a one-of. As we're seeing, 4 colorless can be a little bit of a problem. I mean, so here's what I want to do. I'm worried about end of turn Cascade, but we cannot live in fear. I mean, we can live in fear, but let's choose not to. Let's choose to live for a brighter future. Subtlety would be kind of backbreaking too. So, hopefully I don't have another Violent Outburst. Violent Outburst number 3. In Modern. Feels like they got something. feels like they might have Violent Outburst number 3 in Modern. Not in Standard. Oh, okay. Whew. Alright, well, that's still kind of a problem, to be honest. We don't really have any good removal spells because we are too low on life for Dismember. Alright, so I usually get to see a good chunk of their deck. I already know their deck. We've seen these deck lists before. Okay, is there some way we can get a win with another? Nope. Yeah, we could have only gotten 9. We could have only pushed 9 damage. Alright, well, opponent is very confident that they're unbeatable, but, you know, hopefully this, well, in a way, maybe we hope they are unbeatable so that this card gets banned, but I don't know, hopefully we can just beat it, and that's probably the better thing. I just don't know if we can. This is like, this deck has been pretty good. Not gonna lie, this deck has been pretty good. I think we need Spreading Seas. I think Spreading Seas is going to be a little bit on the clunk here. A little bit on the clunk. A little bit more clunk. Let's put it that way. A little more clunk. I think it's Tide Shaper, actually, that we want to start our trimming on. And Counterspell, I mean, why not, right? And I think we can probably play Counterspell, Merfolk Trickster. I don't think Dismember is at its best here. It can sometimes be our only out against a Brazen Borrower, but honestly, Merfolk Trickster is an out too. We just didn't have that in our deck. All the more reason why probably it's a mistake not to have Merfolk Trickster in the mix. We'll play one in the mix. We'll play this. Yeah, so I'm probably going to go back to the same main deck and maybe just play Spreading Seas on the board and then just play Fairy Conclave in the main, like in the past. I don't know. Like cutting Trickster for the 8 Cs is, well, Chalice is a powerful effect, but powerful enough to have 0 land. Okay, and this is much better. If we get mana screwed by Mishra's Factory again, I think I will just write off Mishra's Factory as a failed experiment. I'm going to just run out the Chalice because I think they have to force Negation it, and I want to give them the least possible draw steps. If we had another blue mana in hand, I would have set up playing Counterspell to defend it, but we'll see if we'll 0 mana him to Turok them. Okay. The problem is they can end a turn Brazen Borrower it, and then their turn they can. This is the problem. This deck is also has a lot of answers. We got counterspells. We need blue mana. We will see. We've only got 11 more sources of these. It's not like insignificant, but it's also far from guaranteed. Far from guaranteed. Well, that's a start. Making me regret not keeping the Lord, because the Lord can be cast off a Vial. Counterspell, not so much. My thinking was kind of like, with Counterspell, I don't know. My thinking was just that they have so much more such powerful stuff. And they have like Ousted Chalice, and maybe I also want to counter the Petty Theft ability from Brazen Borrower. I don't know. And they have to do it in a turn, of course, because if they do it on my upkeep, I can just replay it for 0 unless they got Force Negation as well. In which case, I could draw another one. If they do it on my upkeep, one draw step. Excusez-moi. Come now. It's not that big of a deal. I'll just animate Mutavault. Yeah. That's okay. I guess they're worried about us playing Svyelun. Alrighty. I might play sideboard Merfolk Trickster, as crazy as that sounds. But like, yeah, just Spreading Seas is just, I think, a surprisingly solid card, even still. And, man, they definitely went to town on their clock. Come now. Come now. Let's see. Well, considering that, I'll just do this. So they might Brazen Borrow in a turn, but then maybe I can Force Negation, because it'll force them to have to do it on their turn. Alright. Well, even if they do somehow Ignat Chewer it or something, I will have a backup. We don't want to play this on 1, because they have no 1-drops. They have very few 2-drops. I mean, I guess Fire Ice is one of them. It seems to count as a 4-drop in their deck. Oh, okay. That's fine. Hopefully they don't have an instant speed, not sure somehow, okay. Because I was F6ing. Yeah, this is probably putting a damper on their style, as they say, in Modern. Let's play some Factory Folk in Modern. Alright, we will trick it. Play a trick on it. Alrighty, I'm gonna tick it up. I need to get this Svyelun out. And I know it's gonna get stuck on 3, but at some point we might draw another Aether Vial. We put it to 3 a lot for Lura, so we can do it here too. Okay. You know, we could Spreading Seas our own land. Might not actually be a bad idea. Let's attack. Yeah, we're gonna Spreading Seas our own land, folks. Because that'll just unlock. We just cannot be sure that we will draw a blue land. If this was a 16 blue land folk, then yeah, if this was 16 blue land folk, we probably would be more confident that the next land would be an island, but more blue source like Fairy Conclave. But since it might be Mishra's Factory, there are 7 brown lands. We, I think, have to do this. Especially since we are setting off our 2-drops that we might draw, so. Of course, Negation. Okay. Well, at least that's a decent pitch to force Negation. We'd rather not pitch the counterspell, given that we just went through so much trouble to enable it. Okay. Yeah, opponent might blow their clock. This is not impossible. This deck is not like a slow deck, but opponent has taken a long time to play. To quote a certain singer, "Ow!" Yeah, this is taking a while. Finger looking good. I'm okay to play the racing game with Bone Crusher. Tough Fairy, you'll get caught up in the Tough Fairy. I don't think I can immediately take it off, although I can actually if they, but they can. Blah 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 blah. Now let's I don't want to deal with this. I don't want this in my life. We'd like another Merfolk though. Actually, I just realized because the Mutavault could have been good to protect the Svyelun. Like giving it indestructible. The problem with Teferi is they can block the Svyelun, yeah, and then they could set up a possible bounce and play their stuff next turn. Well, I mean that was a decent showing. So far, Mutavault won us a game, but they also lost us a game. I guess you could say that's a wash. That being said, I'm living in fear of getting mana screwed by these. And to be fair, you know, Fairy Conclave ain't that far off from what this brings to the table. But the fact that it also taps for blue means there's a certain floor to how bad it can be. But there's basically no limit to how much Mishra's Factory can screw us up. Maybe I just I try the 8C's idea of putting Trickster in the sideboard and just play a Fairy Conclave. That could definitely be possible. I can't pitch this back. This could be a mistake. Maybe I was supposed to Molta Chalice. Maybe I just draw it naturally. I don't know, but at least if they're on a Sardless Agent, I have Force of Negation to interact. I may or may not get a second blue source for Counterspell. So I don't know if they do end of turn Violent Eruption. That might be a different story. I don't even know if I'm going to get a second land, period. Well, maybe that'll help me draw something. Man, if they force negation this, that's gonna be rough. Okay, that's gonna be rough. Come now. Come now. Come now. Come now. Come now. Alright. Okay. Yes. Hoo. They're going to ice me. Ice. Ice. Okay. Okay. Ice. We got iced. I don't even know if this is going to do anything. Let's draw it on the end. Ah, joke's on you. I had no play anyway. Okay, I mean, I guess joke's on us because this is still not good, but joke's on them. That didn't actually do anything to me. I was screwed regardless of your spells. Joke's on you. I was going to lose regardless of who I played against. I was just a ticking time bomb of losing. Oh man, they got well, at least we got repeal. They've got end of turn Vial Interruption. That's the worst. Hopefully they wait until we get a land drop. And hopefully it is an untapped resource. Ice. Some more ice. Oh, come on now. My huckleberry friend. Oh, ice. Okay. That's a good one. Ice. Okay. Yay! Now see, this did affect us. Now we cannot say it didn't make a difference. We're doing that because we could always just pitch both the counter spells. I guess that means they don't have a Vial Interruption and Vial Outburst, because you'd think they'd play that instead of Ice if they had it in Modern. Might have a ton of like stomps stuff, I don't know. Ice again. Ice. Okay. Well, at least we can repeal one of these. And maybe we repeal on their turn, because I got a feeling they're holding up something. We could try to double force negation. I want to draw a card, but then again, I also don't want to discard a card. Well, I gotta try to draw land. There's just no other way. There is just no other way. Stars, other way. La la la. We tried our best. But we are going to have to discard 5, 6, 7, 8. It's not repeal yet because we may also have to discard 2 cards. Counterspell. Let's just do this now. And let's fight the counter war of our life. Double force negation just to deal with a Rhino, but drawing a card will at least bring us back a little bit. They've got Mystical Dispute, I guarantee it. Yep, let's do this. La la la. La la la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Okay. La 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 la. Alright. Hopefully they don't have another long outburst. Oh, they do, but that's okay. We got Force Negation at least. Chalice of the Void is good, but we also need to be able to push damage through the blockers, so I think we'll take the Trickster. Y'all get caught up in the Merfolk Trickster. Merfolk Trickster! Alright. Well, might as well take advantage of that 5 power, the 1 power boost. Yep. And with so many cards in their hand, they might have endless Rhinos from here, but maybe we can race. Maybe we can race, you know? I don't know. I don't make the rules. I don't make the rules. I don't know. Maybe we can race. Ooh, that could help out. Well, they sometimes play Anger of the Gods, so even though we can get iced here, and we can get fired, you're fired. You know, this is a lot we gotta play around. But they already used 2 Fire and Ices, so a little less likely. Got that. Because, like, we could play around Fire and Ice by just playing the Lord right now, but then, I mean, of course, they could still just fire the Lord. Ooh, well, this is gonna get stomped, but gotta try. Stomp. Yep, called it. Well, repeal on this might end up being our saving grace anyway. Repeal is, I mean, Echoing Truth might even be what we need to reach for if this deck really becomes the kind of standard that we see going forward in Modern. We'll do this. It's not bad. Not bad at all. I'm probably taking this up to 3 because we've got to get this out. La la la. The Bone Crusher. The Crush. There's a map in Doom called The Crusher. They play The Crusher. They play Sharpest Agent. Okay. Alright. Alright, we'll tick it up. Well then. You know, we may actually want to... We actually want to target our Mutavault. Feels like we've done this a lot, but I think that's... that could be a mistake, because it could be useful for... But, you know, we need the blue mana. Yeah, and actually, I think it will turn out, maybe, that this will be a decent dividend to pay. Raise and borrow the Aether Vial, in this case that is fine. Okay. I think we have to try to block the Bone Crusher with the Svyelun, and then activate the Mutavault to make it indestructible. The alternative is just we're just gonna die. Oh, yeah, actually, we don't even have to... That works, yeah. We'll just do this. Now I can make it indestructible by paying 1 at any moment. It's not bad. Yeah, why did they knew I had Svyelun. What else could I have had? Well, maybe we do win this one. If we just play this, then 3 and 5 is 8. But if we attack, then that's 7, 8, 9. But But if they got the footfalls, they just win. I know this is a little conservative, but let's just bring them down to 1. So at least we have some chump blockers. Okay. Alrighty, so hey, this is a half decent blocker. We can't tap it to pump itself though, just yet. That could have to wait 1 turn. Nice. Alright, we finally beat this deck. I think we did once early on when they were playing suboptimal cards anyway. Alright, sweet. Alright, match 5. Let's see if we can close it out with a 4-1. That'd be nice. And you know what? Let's see. Let's see Mistress Factory again. I gotta tell you though, when Mistress Factory is doing good, when it's doing good work. Oh, another thing though that's not true in Legacy though, that was really helpful, and I hate this deck. I mean, like, even when I'm playing decks that have a decent matchup against it, it's just kind of annoying to play against. I think my mono white deck smokes it the most. The Death and Taxes. Let's get this out of here. Be gone. Right knee. I don't think I can afford to do a double pitch, but I guess I have to hold up the possibility, because at the end of the day, I think I may be able to kind of keep them under control. If we shall see. It's doable. Walking Ballista, Hanger Back Walker. This could be a mistake, but this is the most scary card so far they've presented. Because that can keep growing. So if they want to put the counter on this, that's fine. Okay. Alrighty. Come on, we need Svyelun. Okay, blah blah blah. Blah 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 blah. Let's just do this. Then we'll go down. Yes, please, that would be nice. Okay. I think we hold up. Force Negation. I also used to play Mirror Regery at one point in the Legacy version. I don't know that I ever really played Mirror Regery in the modern version. I probably did at some point, but like, and it gives me something else to do. It's colorless, you know. So like, yeah, they're afraid of something. I guess Trickster. You know, they're afraid of Trickster. Tricky Dick, as it's called. Outpost. 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 Yeah, so that's not bad. Do we want to attack? I don't think we need to just yet. In Modern. Yeah, because, I mean, these cards, like, they're slowly ticking away at us, but I think we can beat this. Whereas if we... The problem is if we attack, they could put 2 counters on the Inkmoth, and that's actually kind of a fast clock. If they don't have an extra land and they tap out to double attack with Inkmoth, they speed up their poison clock, but I guess you could do that, and then they could keep up the modular. Yeah, I just want to trade my Silvergill and... Ooh. That's not good. Alrighty. Alrighty. They actually could have just killed us, I think. Actually, I don't know if they have enough artifacts to do that much poison just yet, but definitely it's in the cards that we could die very soon. Now, I don't know why they didn't graft Arcbound Ravager. If they're not going to graft Arcbound Ravager, what are they going to graft? And we got 8 Cs, but no Cs. Well, let's attack with Silvergill. Gillian's Island. Probably should have attacked with Master too, if we lose it exactly 2 life, because I don't think I would have valved it in. There's too much potential if they go for it. I mean, we're just bluffing at this point, because we're pretty much cold right here to the Arcbound Ravager, but... And we really tried to be conservative with this Force of Negation, but it just turns out that the creature spells this time are gonna get us. What have you encountered an Ancient Stirrings? Maybe even an Abundant Harvest. Well, they're thinking about blocking, in which case I think it's better that we didn't attack with the Master. I mean, they could sacrifice both of these to make Arcbound a 5/5. A lot of times, though, they seem to be hesitant about that. Maybe because... Yeah, there's definitely ways they can get punished for that. I think they would have blocked the Lord for sure if I had presented it. This is modular, so that's good with Arcbound Ravager. Already. Okie dokie. Okie dokie, okie dokie. I'm not gonna block. I mean, I can't block. I'm gonna make it seem like, why did this become 3/3? Did I miss something? Why did that become a 3/3? Oh, because of the Zabahas. Yeah, this Zabahas is good. Oh, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so they get to, they don't even have to go all in. If they were relying on a non-creature, lag. If they're relying on a non-creature spell, it would have been better. Well, we come full circle because we placed this game 1, play this game 1. You know, I'm just going to abandon Chalice, I think, because, like, sometimes it doesn't even do anything. And, and just it can end up backfiring on us if they play like a Throne of Geth or a whatever you call that 1 mana card. Animation module. I mean, these cards do seem reasonable. We didn't have a seize effect that game, but I don't think that was the issue. The problem is that they've got Walking Ballista, so I think Tide Shaper is not safe. Spreading Seize, I think, is where we want to be. Merfolk Trickster, I think, is good against the tokens. But they play Urza Saga, so we need this. That's the main reason I'm on 8 Seas, actually, is I'm expecting to see lots of Urza Sagas decks. And nothing beats Urza Saga like 8 Seas. I think we can take out 4 Lords. Repeal even that good. And who am I kidding? It also really eviscerates the tokens, and it can just be a good trick. Oh man, figuring out which cards to cut is just not easy. I think I need at least 4 Lords with the Seize effects. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to side out. Ironically, maybe Dismember. I mean, taking out interaction seems a little suspect, but I don't know. I don't know what else to do. The other cards just seem so sweet. Countering this stuff seems way better too, so alright, Dismember it is. Alright, hand seems decent. Alright, so let's see, let's play the island. Yeah, Mishra's Factory also against, what was it, the Elemental? No, that wasn't this league. But, like, there are some situations where Mishra's Factory actually is a good blocker, and that's nice. I don't think we can deal with that. I just don't... We can repeal it and maybe regroup. Yeah, let's do that. Let's just repeal that and regroup. Yeah, so let's see. We can even repeal Force Negation if need be. This will become a 2/2. Honestly, I think we can deal with that. Alright, so let's repeal this. Yeah, let's play Z Factory. We can take 1 hit, but the Factory actually blocks this really well. The Oz. Let's Force Negation this. The Ozolith. Be gone. Alright. And somehow I just had a feeling they didn't have another land drop. Okay. Alright. Hopefully they overlook the Mishra's Factory plus tap itself to get +1/+1. I know that caught me off guard when I was really new to Legacy. Now let's Force Negation that too. So we'll take another damage, but so be it. Alrighty. Just in case we Tide Shaper would probably just kick if we got it. Let's just get the let's hold up Counterspell. The question is if they attack, do we? But hopefully the factory deters an attack. We could just trade with Silvergill, but I definitely want to hold up Counterspell because that card is really not that bad. Actually, it kind of is. I don't know. It's kind of... Oof, this card is annoying. But in the grand scheme of things, I don't think... Oh, I don't want to counter it, but like without Island Walk. Yeah, you know what? We're just going to play for the Island Walk. Zabaz. Zabaz. I could repeal Zabaz. Zabaz. Yeah, we could also actually just repeal the Hangerback. Actually, yeah, that seems pretty good. Yeah, let's repeal the Hangerback. Alright, maybe we could have played this, held up Counterspell, so... Oops. Oops. At least we can, oops. Well, mistakes were made. We have 8 Cs, so we have the more scarce resource in the Lord since we took out 2. Alright, let's really hope we get that Cs. This I think we have to counter. This card is kind of hell on wheels for us. And we could have played a Lord last turn and had Counterspell up. Anyway, it is what it is. Come on, Seize Effect. Nice. Well, at least this makes our creatures really, really buff. And now we can attack with Factory Pump Factory. I mean, kind of unfortunate that we kept the 8 season in large part because we wanted to deal with Urza Saga, but we don't see any. But just how it goes sometimes. Just how it goes. Mistress Factory is cheaper to activate for sure. Oops. Okay, good thing it didn't force me to target assembly creature. Bam. Been pumped. Helping out a team member in need. Zabaz has one more counter now. Oh yeah, and Zabaz gave itself a boost. A boost or a had to go. I can't make that noise. A boost. Like the buzz sound. Man, these tokens, if I don't have a Seize Effect... See, the thing is, the Seize Effect will insta-kill Urza Saga, which actually is also kind of bad because I kind of need the Seize. Would have been good earlier, but... Uh-oh, Spaghetti-O. Is this an insta-kill? I can sacrifice this, and they can put... It'll lose the ability, but they can still put one in. Oh, man. That is not what I wanted to see. That's not what I wanted to see. That is what I wanted to see. So the problem is that they can sacrifice Zabaz, they can put all the counters. I mean, what happens if I just attack? If I just attack, they could just block with the Zabaz, trade, block with the Archbound Ravager, sack the Ravager to the Zabaz. I mean, sack the Ravager, put the counter on the Zabaz. The Zabaz doesn't trade at that point. Ironically, they would probably want the Zabaz. What they could do is they could just block with the Zabaz, yeah, block with Arcbound Ravager, sacrifice the Zabaz, put the counters on Arcbound Ravager, and then the creature dies. Well, but let's see, what if I attack with 4 with everything, then... Yeah, they can block with all. Yeah, they can block with all, so... They'll block the Lord and the 2 Tricksters, and that alone means it's not lethal. Well, if we were playing, very Conclave, it wouldn't have made a difference. We could trade 12-man land Merfolk, but I don't see the point to that. Yeah, they can block 3 creatures, and they can put everything on the Walking Ballista, and then it'll trade with 1 creature. The other creatures will get through, but there won't be that many. Well, I mean, what else am I supposed to do? Just give up? I guess. There's some EV to just giving up and not trying. Or, you know, you could also just look at it as giving up and trying another project. I'm still struggling a bit with Mana Flood, though. Like, this is kind of a problem. I'm trying to deal with the fact that this deck gets Mana Flooded in a way that really works. Yeah, so they spent enough time to do exactly the block that I thought they were going to do. Yep, that was exactly what we expected them to do. Now that was not the block we were expecting them to do. Now we have to bluff because they're going to have lethal, I guarantee it, off of Inkmoth Nexus. But I think they're going to go for it anyway. But at least, yeah, because why else wouldn't they put the counters on Walking Ballista? They must be planning to go for it. Maybe they've got Veil of Summer, who knows. So I'm actually at a crossroads. I like Dismember, but like Dismember actually is... Oh my goodness, could I play Spatial Contortion? That's not going to be, that's going to be, there's going to be sometimes I can't cast it. You know, oh shoot though. With colorless lands do unlock other removal spell options. I don't know, it's hard to say. It's hard to say. It is hard to say. So, I'm not bluffing Dismember, maybe bluffing Brazen Borrower or something. Oh, we can play Brazen Borrower again if we're not playing Lurrus. I think they sacked the wrong Ravager. No, I mean, because the problem is they can... I mean, but this isn't playing around like Vapor Snag or something. This alone isn't going to do it, so there's some risk involved here for sure. They have to go for it, because otherwise they just die, so I'm not really bluffing anything other than them misclicking. Take this. Alright, post-league wrap-up. Well, you know, that was a disappointing end result, but two, what do you call it, I think our only losses were to Hardened Scales. Oh, never mind. So Hardened Scales at the end. The other one was Enchantress. Hardened Scales 0-2, I think. So, you know, it is what it is. The Enchantress deck, we definitely got... I think we lost because we got screwed over by our own Mishra's Factory. But you know, we did win that one Death Shadow game because Mishra's Factory, I think, gave us the boost we needed to threaten lethal. So, you know, I don't know, Mishra's Factory giveth, Mishra's Factory's take away. But I still actually freaking found myself getting mana flooded. So like, I may go back to the drawing board. I may actually just have to freaking get back to Luris. Man, Svyelun is good, but man, I don't know though. Like, it is good, but at the same time, like, no, what am I just kidding? Of course this card is good. I wish there was a way I could see it more often, and I wish there was like a way. I wish there was like more payoffs that I could play, but it's just hard to both play 8Cs and play payoffs, and I think Repeal is too flexible, you know, to pass up, and I don't know what else to say. So, I mean, Luris is kind of like also a card advantage engine, but it's just way more vulnerable to Lightning Bolt. I don't know. It's going to be back to the drawing board to figure out a way to mitigate mana flood. For now, I could probably just go back to Fairy Conclave. I guess we'll see. Anyway, until next time, if you like this content, like and subscribe, and we'll see.